Imagine you are standing in a supermarket on a Friday afternoon. You just received a ding notification on your phone. Paycheck deposited. Instantly, a rush of dopamine goes straight to your brain. You feel wealthy. You feel you deserve a reward after a tiring 40-hour work week. You toss a few extra expensive items into your cart, telling yourself that you are living a stable life. But there is a harsh truth that no one tells you. The moment that paycheck hits your bank account, it is already scheduled to disappear. Before you even have a chance to spend it on yourself, the system has already taken its cut. Taxes, rent, insurance, and credit card debt. Why do we work harder every year, receive trickling raises, yet the feeling of financial freedom seems as distant as ever? That is because you are stuck in something incredibly intricately designed, the salary trap. Most people believe that the solution to all money problems is making more money. If I make $70,000 a year instead of $50,000, I will be rich. But the reality is, as income increases, our lifestyle automatically inflates with it unconsciously. Psychologists call this hedonic adaptation. You trade your old Toyota for a new Tesla. You move from a studio apartment to a 2-bedroom apartment. Now, let's dive deeper into how the system keeps you trapped through something that sounds very glamorous: lifestyle creep. Look at the career of a typical office worker in Silicon Valley or New York. When fresh out of college, they are satisfied with a $5 sandwich and living with 3 other friends to split the rent. But when their salary increases to $100,000, suddenly that sandwich becomes a $20 lunch at an organic restaurant, and the shared room becomes a luxury apartment with expensive monthly management fees. The modern financial system is designed to ensure that every time you earn an extra dollar, corporations and banks have already prepared 5 ways for you to spend $1.20. Why do we fall into this trap? It is because of the social proof psychology. In the US, we don't just spend money to buy objects. We spend money to buy status. You buy an expensive car, not because it gets you from point A to point B better, but because you want your neighbors to know that you are doing well. But here is the most dangerous part. Debt is labeled as an achievement. Think about the American dream. It usually starts with a big house with a white picket fence. To get it, you sign a 30-year mortgage contract. The bank calls it your asset. But look again at the balance sheet. Something that takes money out of your pocket every month is a liability, not an asset. When you have a 30-year mortgage, a 5-year car loan, and credit card debt, you are no longer working for passion or growth. You work out of fear. The fear of defaulting makes you not dare to quit your job, not dare to risk starting a business, and not dare to say no to your boss's unreasonable demands. You have locked yourself in a golden cage where the key is in the hands of the creditors. The tax system is also not on the side of the wage earner. In the United States, W-2 personal income tax is the most heavily taxed category. An employee can be taxed up to 30 to 40% of their total income after factoring in both state and federal taxes. Meanwhile, corporations and investors enjoy much more favorable tax rates. In other words, you are working at the highest level of efficiency, but are being held back at the lowest level of accumulation. We are programmed to seek short-term stability, a monthly paycheck, while ignoring long-term freedom. We fear the feeling of not having an income for 1 month, yet we do not fear having to work continuously for 40 years just to pay off debt. So how do we break these chains? Is it quitting your job immediately? Not quite. The secret lies in changing the nature of the exchange. Instead of trading time for money, you must learn how to use money to buy back time. We will explore the asset matrix and why the rich never focus on earned income from a salary. We will analyze the difference between active income and systemic income, the key for you to truly escape this trap. Why do the world's richest people, like Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk, often receive an extremely low base salary, or even zero? Because They understand a secret that the education system never teaches you. A salary is the least efficient form of income to build wealth. In the financial world, there are two types of games happening simultaneously. The first game is for 95% of the population, trading time for money. The second game is for the remaining 5%, building systems that generate money. Imagine you have a bucket and a water pipeline. The wage earner is the bucket carrier. Every day you go to the stream, fill the bucket with water, and carry it back to the village in exchange for food. What if you want more water? You have to carry a bigger bucket or make more trips. But your strength and time are finite. What if you get sick one day? The water flow will stop immediately. Conversely, the wealth builder spends their time installing a pipeline. Initially, they don't have a single drop of water while the bucket carrier laughs at them. But once the pipeline is finished, they just need to turn on the faucet. Water flows in even while they are sleeping, traveling, or spending time with family. In the US, this pipeline is exactly real assets. It can be stocks, owning a piece of a business, rental real estate, collecting money from solving others' housing needs, or intellectual property, books, courses, YouTube channels. Let's look at the psychology behind this. When you receive a salary, you are on the defensive. You try to save every penny so you don't fall short. When you invest, you are on the offensive. You force every dollar to become a soldier going to work for you. Every one of those dollars will bring back an extra 5 cents, 10 cents a year without you having to break a sweat. The biggest mistake of the average American is using their salary to buy liabilities. Things that depreciate over time, like cars, designer clothes, instead of buying assets. We are surrounded by advertisements that make us believe spending is the way to show our self-worth. But in reality, every time you buy something unnecessary with a credit card, you are signing a commitment that you will have to work longer for the system. Wealth is not measured by the amount of money you make, but by the amount of time you can maintain your lifestyle if you stop working today. If you make $200,000 a year, but spend $190,000, you are exactly one job loss month away from bankruptcy. You are still just a luxury bucket carrier. So how do you transition from carrying buckets to building a pipeline without starving halfway? How do you leverage the salary trap itself as a springboard for freedom? We will talk about the 20% rule and why becoming invisible in the eyes of a consumer society is the smartest move you have ever made. How to escape without turning your life upside down. The answer doesn't lie in quitting your job tomorrow morning. The secret lies in changing how you view your job. Instead of viewing your job as the destination, treat it as the angel investor for the most important business of your life, yourself. Most people in the United States live by the formula income minus expenses equals savings, which is usually zero. This is the formula of a financial slave. To break the trap, you must flip it upside down. Income minus investments equals expenses. Get familiar with the concept of the invisible person. In an American society that worships flashiness, where people show off financed cars on Instagram, you driving an old car but owning 100 shares of the company that makes that car is a silent victory. When you refuse to upgrade your lifestyle every time you get a raise, you are buying back your freedom at a discount. You need less stuff than you think, but you need more freedom than you realize. Let's look at the actual numbers. If you can save and invest 20% of your income into index funds like the S&P 500, with a historical average return of around 10% per year, the power of compound interest will start working. In the first 10 years, you will see it grow as slowly as grass. But from year 15 onwards, that money will start spawning more than the salary you earn from your 8-hour-a-day job. This is exactly when the bridge is completed. The moment the returns from your assets can cover your basic living expenses, the salary trap is officially broken. You go to work not because you have to, but because you want to. But why do so few people achieve this? Because the system has sown a psychological virus. procrastination, and the fear of risk. People are afraid of losing 10% of their stock value in a month, yet they are not afraid of losing 100% of their ability to work in old age with nothing in their hands. They choose the fake security of a monthly paycheck over the true security of owning assets. The system wants you to spend immediately to stimulate the economy. They want you to use a credit card with a 20% interest rate to buy things you will get bored of in 2 weeks. Every time you swipe your card for an unnecessary item, you are handing over control of your life to someone else. So, what is the specific next step? How do you reposition your mindset from a consumer to an owner? At this point, you understand that the system doesn't hold you back with iron chains, but with bills, installment debts, and societal expectations. So, how do you step out? Don't try to change everything overnight. Implement the 1% strategy. Every month, find a way to reduce unnecessary expenses by 1% and increase your investment amount by 1%. In the US, fully utilize the tools the system provides, but few truly understand. Tax-advantaged retirement accounts like a 401k or Roth IRA. These are legal loopholes that help you keep more money away from the IRS. The final psychological insight I want to share with you is this. True wealth is what you don't see. Wealth does not lie in the car you drive or the watch on your wrist. Wealth is the rental properties you own, the stock portfolio that is quietly growing, and most importantly, the ability to say no. No to a toxic job. No to health-draining overtime sessions. No to having to please people you don't even like. Remember, every luxury item you buy with your salary before achieving financial freedom is a contract selling away a piece of your future. Instead, use that money to buy freedom insurance. The US economy runs on consumption. If you stop consuming blindly and start owning, you are the one in control of the game. Don't be afraid to look poor in the eyes of those drowning in debt. Your freedom is worth more than any validation from social media. The practical lesson here is very simple. Don't work for money. Work to own assets that generate money. Your W-2 job is a wonderful tool, but it should only be the vehicle to get you to your destination, not the final destination itself. As we end this video, I want you to ask yourself one question. If your salary income disappeared tomorrow, how long could you stay afloat? That number is the true measure of your current wealth. Don't let the system lull you to sleep with a steady paycheck every 2 weeks. Start building your own water pipeline today, one brick at a time. Thank you for watching Tony Invests Wealth. If you found this video helpful for your journey to freedom, please hit subscribe and share it with a friend who is also trying to escape the hamster wheel. We will see each other again in the next video on how to choose those first asset bricks.